Hello, hello, hello. How are you guys doing this evening? Look at my crazy hair. This Saturday night. This is just basically glamour shots. I look so good. Anyway, how are you guys doing? It is 1:43 a.m. and I just woke up about 15 minutes ago. My husband went over to his friend's house because she and her husband bought a new house, and so he went over there with Sarah and his one other friend, and they sat on the patio tonight, and he invited me over, but I was like, I kind of just wanted to be at the house by myself, and just kind of, do you ever just want to like be at the house by yourself, you know what I mean? And I ended up watering all my plants, and I stood outside, and I first talked to both of my neighbors to the right, and the couple that moved in. And then I was watching like some just random stupid videos on YouTube on the front porch. And then I talked to my mom's and my aunt's old friend that lives in our neighborhood. I was talking to her about my grandma. I was asking her questions about what she knew and all this kind of stuff, which really is nothing. But anyway, we stood out there and talked forever about all kinds of stuff. She was walking with her daughter, and her daughter works at the hospital that my dad works at. And so we were talking about like safety. She was talking about going back and when she was going to go back, and like safety precautions that they're putting in place because of COVID and things like that. So we were talking about all of that. Where's my lip balm? And then my neighbor came out again. He came out with his dog, and so she hadn't met him yet, and so I introduced her, and because, you know, I'm trying to be so neighborly these days, and so I introduced them, and then we all stood out, the three of us stood out there and talked for a little while, and let their dogs play, because she was walking her dog too, and she was asking about Caroline, how Caroline's doing, and it was weird. She asked about Caroline's cousin on her dad's side. So Caroline has on her dad's side just two cousins, a brother and sister, and that I grew up, you know, hanging out with too, but they live in St. Louis. And so she was asking about the sister, and she was like, oh, how's she doing? And so I was like, it was kind of just caught me off guard. I was like, how do you know her, you know? And she said, well, through your mom. Like, I met her through your mom. I always thought she was so sweet. And I was thinking to myself, like, when would my mom and her have hung out? And then I remembered something, like, after my aunt passed away, when we were at the condo, because we all hung out, like, I vlogged all of that, like us hanging out in the basement and going through pictures, and a bunch of people brought over food. We brought over food, and so it was like Caroline and I and her cousin on the other side, and then Alex and I, and then like two or three friends, and we all just like stayed over there like late in the night, and they were like drinking wine, and we were like eating food and stuff. It was a really nice night. It was like we were like telling stories about growing up and stuff like that. It was just kind of fun, and memories of my aunt and things like that. You know, that is the one nice thing, like, that comes from, like, the whole funeral process and planning of all of that is, because the same thing happened with my mom. You know, my mom passed away, like, a bunch of us got together, we're just, like, you know, putting pictures together and telling stories and music for I had 6 CDs. I picked all these songs out that my friend, well, she's a friend of my mom and I's both. She put these CDs together of, like, all of my mom's favorite music. I'm gonna pull in here so I can get my lip balm. And, I remember the night before the viewing, she and I and my friend that lives in Oakland now, we drove around and like drank, you know, fountain pops and smoked cigarettes and cried and laughed and told all these stories about my mom, you know, funny ones and endearing ones, and just kind of have this dedication drive to my mom. And I just remember how nice it was, you know, and picked all these pictures out and the songs that my mom loved and stuff like that. But anyway, so it was kind of nice when we did that, you know, with my aunt too. I didn't do that with my uncle. Caroline was just kind of shut down at that point, I think. Like, I was talking to, I was talking to this friend of ours today, this friend of our family's, and I was telling her that Caroline's husband just had hip surgery, and she was like, she said, I feel like Caroline just, it's always something, like, I feel so bad for her. And I said, you know, Caroline's really strong, she's really resilient, but she has been through a lot, you know, in the last couple years. So anyway, it was just kind of a nice evening, and I hung out with the dogs in the front patio and the back patio, and I was gonna go for a swim, but then I saw these, like, when I was, like, talking to them out there, you know, it's only supposed to be 60 and older, but I mean, if I'm gonna go up there, I can't complain about other people that are younger going up there too, but there was, like, these 3 girls. They looked young. Not like young, but they looked like 19 or 20. And they were walking up there with their towels, and they had, like, 2 of them had a baby. And I was like, you know what? I just am not really in the mood to be around a lot of people in the pool tonight. So I didn't go to the pool for a swim. But it was kind of cooler tonight anyway. It says it's 62 right now. It was kind of cooler when I was getting ready to go for a swim. So I was like, I don't even know that I really want to get in the pool. I don't know if it's going to be too cold or, you know, whatever. So, yeah. So I didn't. And then I ate some of my leftover food that I had yesterday. I had these, like, Morningstar chicken, buffalo chicken wings, fake chicken. And, they're really good. If you're a vegetarian, the Morningstar chicken, the Morningstar vegetarian chicken wings are really good. And I just dip them in, like, hot mustard or regular mustard. Tonight, just regular mustard. And then I made like 6 or 8 of those. And then I had just a little bit of potato salad left. So I had my red skin potato salad. And then I had some street corn dip. So I ate that with some chips and water, which I'm drinking now because I'm completely out of Diet Pepsi and Diet Coke. I was going to go through the McDonald's and get a Coke, but now that I'm far away, we'll see. I might turn around later and do that. Because that one's probably not open, which means I'd have to go to the one that's like 20 minutes from here. And then, yeah, I sat there and I watched an episode and a half of Family Feud. I'm like obsessed with Family Feud. I don't know what the problem is. I just love that show. And I just sit there and I laugh and giggle at the jokes. Like, I think they're so corny. Steve Harvey is just so corny, but I like, his jokes are funny to me. I don't know why. It's just real family friendly, you know? Like, I joke about the things being family friendly, but... So I watched that. And then Alex was sending me videos of them, like, sitting on the patio, and, so I was sending him videos back of the dogs, and then I talked to Tanya. That was at, like, 10. I talked to my sponsor at some point, too. And what is going on up here? It looks like construction. Can I not get through? So anyway, I was like, I'm just going to lay down for a little bit. And I ended up laying down at like 10 o'clock. And I told Alex, as I was parked in the driveway and he parks in the garage, you know, I was like, just text me, or like when you get home, because when he comes through the door, the dogs go crazy. Any of us come through the door, the dog goes crazy. And, or either of us. And so I said, if you come home before I wake up, I'll just come out and move my car then. And he was like, okay. But I woke up at like 1 o'clock. It's 1 o'clock. Oh my God, somebody just texted me. I can't see who it is. I woke up at like 1 o'clock. Oh, I woke up and then I was like, okay, you guys, 15 more minutes. And we slept till like 1:20. And they were so sweet. The dogs were so sweet. And one of the saving graces, kind of, this is going to sound corny, but that's the second time I've used that word, but one of the saving graces of not being able, like needing to have reading glasses at all times, is it's really difficult to stay on my like phone, you know, like late into the evening because my eyes start kind of hurting. And the other thing is, like, when I get up and like after a nap, I don't pick up my phone and go right to my phone, you know, like, and I've always tried for like the last, I would say, year or two, to like, before I go to bed, I try to put my phone down and then like go wash my face, brush my teeth and things like that, you know, like after I've said my prayers and done my meditations and my positive affirmations and my gratitude list and my daily inventory, and I do all that stuff, and then I just kind of carry my phone in, plug it in, and then I go and I wash my face and stuff. So I try to be like off my phone for 20 to 30 minutes before I go to bed. It kind of settles my mind, and that's also what they suggest. And then when I get up in the morning, I kind of do a similar thing. Like, I don't get right on my phone. You know, I do my meditations, and at least I do my prayers, my gratitude list, and things like that, and my daily affirmations for the day, the ones that I talk about at the end of this vlog. And then, like, I'll kind of ask myself, okay, are you ready to start your day? I mean, I literally ask myself that, like, in my head. Because sometimes I'm just not, you know? And if I am, then I'll, like, look at my phone. Well, when I take a nap, though, like, late at night, I typically pick up my phone right away because, you know, that's when kind of, like, there's more activity on my phone. People are texting me or whatever, you know? And, I don't know who that is. See, more people are, like, active late at night. And so, I can't read my phone. Like, I can't just pick up my phone and read it. So I have to put my reading glasses on and whatever. And it kind of forces me to get out of bed, because the last thing I want to do is, like, reach over, get my reading glasses, and start looking through my phone. So I don't as much. I typically get out of bed and go wash my face. And I always, before I come, I know I look like crap every single time I vlog anymore. I used to kind of, like, if you remember back in the day, I kind of tried to look a little presentable. I don't really care now if my hair looks that great or anything for a vlog, because I don't think most of you even care. So I go in the bathroom and I wash my face, and then, more to wake me up than anything else. And then I brush my teeth and wash my mouth out with mouthwash. And then it's like this, I think it's Listerine. I don't know what it is, but it has no alcohol in it. It's like the only mouthwash I'll use. And then I put cologne on. I always put cologne on before I go vlog. I'm just like, I like to feel, it makes me feel better, you know, to have some cologne on, brush my teeth and things like that. Tonight I have on Michael Kors for Men. Just in case you wanted to know, the very watered down Michael Kors for Men that I can't even smell, because I bought it from Overstock.com like a year and a half ago. But I was so sad that they were discontinuing, that it had been discontinued. It was the only place I could find it. Every once in a while I think that they're going to bring it back, but then they never do. So, yeah. And then, like, right as I was coming down the stairs, Alex texted me. Oh, no. I was getting out of bed, and Alex said that he was walking. He called me. He said, I'm walking to my car right now. I'll be there in like 2 or 3 minutes. And I said, okay. I said, well, I'm just going to leave when you come so I can go vlog. And he was like, okay, babe, I'm going to go to bed anyway. He has to get up early tomorrow because he's taking his car to the Jeep dealership. They're going to teach him how to take the doors off the Jeep and stuff. His Jeep is so beautiful. It's such a fun car. He had to take his... I don't really understand this whole deal with the Kia. It's been like moving places constantly, but he was driving it this week because he had a full tank of gas in there, and he didn't want to waste the money that he paid on a full tank of gas. And which I think is smart, you know, but I don't know, it's just funny to me because he's had to like move this car around all these different times. So today, Carlos, his brother, met him at work, and then Carlos really wanted to drive the Jeep, and so this is apparently how he got him to help him out. I told him I would help him. He was like, no, Carlos wants to help, and I was like, okay. So he had Carlos follow him, and they went to the dealership, which is like an hour away, that he had leased his other car from. And so, because he supposedly got a really good deal there. It was such an expensive car, but anyway, but it was beautiful, the Kia. You know, people talk bad about Kias, but I thought that his car was beautiful. I mean, inside it had like so many bells and whistles. It was a really nice car. So anyway, but the Jeep Wrangler is, I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. And the inside is unbelievable. I mean, he's got the exact same kind of radio system that I do with all this stuff and the push button, the climate media controls. I mean, he's got heated seats and, it's just a really nice car. It's beautiful. I like sometimes walk out, because he's been, you know, been driving his other car this week, so it's been in the garage. And so sometimes I'll walk out there and I'll be like, oh, that's so pretty. It's such a pretty car, you know. But anyway, so Carlos followed him, and then, like, he drove Carlos back to his car, and then he came home, and then he went over to his friend's house because they were, like, ordering pizza, all of them. And, yeah. He didn't get over there till late. That's why... I think I was outside, I was talking to my neighbors, it was like almost, I don't know, it was late, but I told my mom's friend, I said, I'm trying to be more neighborly and talk to everybody, and we were talking about people, and it was so funny, because I was like, this person, she's like, I said, now she's real nice over there, and she goes, oh, she's real mean to me, I don't know why she doesn't like me, and, so, it was fun. I like that. I don't know what has happened to me. I don't know if, like, 47, I got the old gene or something that I just like. Maybe it's not the old gene. I don't know. Maybe it's a small town gene, which I guess I've kind of always had. I don't know why I'm laughing at it, but it's like all of a sudden, like, my favorite things are like standing outside, watering my plants, talking to my neighbors, you know, like watering my plants in the evening and in the morning. This is my new thing. Like Tanya today, I was talking to her on the phone and she's like, yeah, my plants are getting kind of dry. And I said, well, have you kept up on them? And she was like, I mean, I water them like every couple days. I said, Tanya, it's been like 85 outside. I remember when I was growing up. So my stepmom, my dad's house, the main level, when you walk through the main level, they have like this huge brick, what do you call it, patio that runs from like the kitchen, outside the kitchen, to the living room, to the bedroom, and then there's like a hot tub off the bedroom, and it like runs the whole length of the main floor, this patio outside. It's probably 20 feet width, and I don't even know how many feet long. It's like the length of the house. And that and then they have this green and white awning and it overlooks the lake. And then below that, they have a pool, and there's a whole other deck down there. And around there, they have like all these like statues and water fountains, tons. And it's very cool. My stepmom's done a really nice job out there through the years. She kind of picks up different artistic pieces of sculptures and things like that. And so she has all kinds of plants out there in the summer. I mean, upstairs and downstairs. It literally takes like an hour and a half to water all of it. And I can remember, so one of my jobs in the summer, she's always done this. It's absolutely beautiful back there. It looks like some like hidden hotel, you know, in the south of France with like all of these bougainvillea and beautiful flowers and plants. And she does an amazing job. But I can remember like, she would talk about, she knew a lot about plants, and she would say that plants are really, really, the way she explained it to me, she was like, plants get really thirsty in the summer. You really can't overwater them. And so I would have to take the hose from plant to plant to plant, and I would have to literally sit there and put the hose, this was like my job in the summers, I would have to put the hose in the plant and water it all the way up to the very top, like till it was totally filled with water. And I had to go through it. I had to do that twice on both floors. And downstairs they have trees and stuff and everything on that patio. And so her plants and flowers just were like always like blooming. I mean, perfect condition. And so I remember that. And so this summer I've been like overwatering these plants, and they are just soaking up the water with the heat and the humidity already. The one day I didn't water them at night, and the next morning that I came out there, they were bone dry. Absolutely bone dry. And I was like, I'm gonna have to start watering them every day, every morning and every night. So I'm really enjoying doing that. Like, that's kind of fun. I kind of want some more plants, honestly, but Another text. I'm like, I really don't want to spend tons and tons of money buying all these plants, but I'm really loving it. The back patio looks beautiful. My neighbor next door, she has plants and stuff, and she came over, and because her dog was like, comes up on the patio, it's so funny. He comes up to the patio and gets on the couch and stuff with me. So anyway, I was sitting out there, and she came over, and she was like, your patio is so beautiful. And I was like, thank you. And she was like, where did you get these flowers? Because I have two purple ones. I have these ones that look like little rosebuds, and they come in yellow, blue, and red. And then I have these others that are like, it's kind of a mix. They called it something like Independence Mix. But it's all different kinds of things. And she was like, where did you get these? And I was like, I got all of them at Meijer. And then I have these two like kind of grassy plants on the table in the middle. I might go tomorrow and see what else they have. I might pick up 2 or 3 more. But then she was out on the front porch. You know, I was thinking about getting a fern, and she was out on the front porch the other day, and we were talking, and she said, is that your phone? And I said, no, it's the wind chimes. And she said, oh my God, she's like, your wind chimes sound so pretty. They're these big bamboo wind chimes. Somebody gave them to me as a gift. I can't remember who. But I leave them up there year round. I really like them. But I don't know. I feel like I kind of want to get another plant. The front porch just has 2 plants in front. It's kind of enough, honestly. But I'm really enjoying taking care of them. And so, yeah, I've become that person that, like, walks in my neighborhood, talks to my neighbors, waters my plants, cleans up my patio. Like, I'm really having fun doing that. The cushion holder that Alex purchased for us is so fantastic. Like, it totally keeps the cushions dry. And, like, I put the cushions out today because it's supposed to be... Oh my God, somebody is texting me like crazy. It's supposed to be dry for the next couple days. And, so, I put the cushions out, and the plants look so good. You know, like when they like perk up, you know, because they're like doing really well. That's how they look. This one plant, I wish I had gotten another one. If I go there and I find it, I'm going to get another one. It's the one that has all these really pretty little rosebud things on it. So yeah, that's what I've been doing. I've been, last night, after I got done vlogging, I went and I did a review at Dunkin' Donuts. I did a review of some breakfast sandwich that they have there. It was pretty good, actually. It was like this egg deal that you could get with turkey sausage, but I'm a vegetarian, so of course I don't eat turkey sausage. And, where am I at on time? I'm gonna pull into this gas station and see, who is texting me. But anyway, I tried that, and then I tried their iced coffee, and then I tried, this person has their brights on, thank you. And then I tried a donut, and I compared the two. It was a fun little review to do. And, but then I got home and I couldn't fall asleep at all. I was like wide awake. Thank you, I appreciate it. And, because I know some of you just said bless you. Oh my God, or gesundheit. Or do we say that anymore? I don't know. But bless you, I know you're supposed to say bless you. So anyway, but I got home, and then I couldn't sleep, and so I was like staying up, and I didn't really drink a lot of that coffee. I thought, like, you know, because I thought, well, maybe it was the coffee. The coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, you guys, is really the bomb. It is really good. I got an iced coffee from there. It was pretty perfect. It was pretty perfect. Anyway, I've never really been in these little shops over here. They're real cute. My brother and sister-in-law used to live in these apartments back here. What just fell all over there? Oh, was that my lip glosses and things? Oh, it's all the way down there now. That's gonna drive me crazy. Oh, shoot, it rolled back this way. Was that a God moment or what? It rolled over to that door, and then it rolled over here. Okay, there's probably something else over on that side too. So yeah, I got home and I couldn't sleep, so I was like, I'm gonna watch another episode of 13 Reasons Why. You guys, and I ended up going to bed at like 7. That show is a lot. It is really, really, really a lot. I don't know what this is. Well, hold on a second, I'm gonna be right back. Okay, I'm back. I've literally been sitting in the same spot in this gas station for an hour and a half talking on the phone. So, yeah. And I wanted to go to this gas station and get something to drink, but they're locked. And he keeps on coming outside and smoking cigarettes, but you can't go inside and buy anything. So, there's that. Like, my water is almost gone at this point. Well, not really, I guess, but I've been trying to kind of, like, hold it. But I also have to go to the restroom now. So, I'm going to vlog for a little bit, then I'm going to stop at the gas station and go to the restroom. I have no idea how long I was vlogging before. I have no idea what I was talking about before. I was probably talking about something and I'm like right in the middle of a story, so I don't know what I was saying. It is what it is. But yeah. Did I say what I did today? No, I was just talking about what I did tonight. Tomorrow Alex is taking his car, I think I said this already, to have them teach him how to take the doors off. And then he's going to lay out at his friend's house, and I'm gonna make videos and such. And then I may go to my friend's house for this barbecue tomorrow night. We'll have to see. My sponsor's going, and she really wants me to go, so she said, well, go and be my date. And I said, okay, I might. So I may do that tomorrow night. We'll just have to see. My friend said that she would have a lot of vegetarian stuff there for me to eat. So she's like, I'm gonna make a huge salad and there'll be other stuff. And so I don't know, we'll see. It starts at like 6 or 7. She's like, you can come whenever, there's no time, you know, whatever. So there's that, and I'll kind of have to see what Alex is doing. And then Sunday we have no plans. And then, yeah, that's it. I've just been like such a homebody lately, like liking to stick around the house and not go anywhere and do anything. I really haven't been going anywhere. It's been nice just to stay around the house. My plan to get The Night Stalker done this week is I haven't really been listening to my audiobook at all. Tonight, actually, I downloaded a bunch of music. I downloaded, what do you call it? Okay, old Barbra Streisand music, and this is such my gay soundtrack. Old Barbra Streisand music and Gloria Gaynor's I Will Survive. I love that song so much. I don't know why I decided I like tagged it listening to music, because I've been listening to like the 70s and the 80s station. And I've been like reminiscing a lot about the summer and I sit on the back patio and I talk to people throughout the day. It's nice. I'm gonna sit out there and talk on the phone. I talked to Caroline. Oh, that's why I was up. No, I was up super late. I think I went to bed after 7 o'clock because I texted Caroline something that I had found online. Like, I'm obsessively looking at this stuff about my grandma. And she was up, and she texted me back, and I said, can you talk? So we talked for like 20 minutes. And I fed my birds and squirrel out on the table. And so she and I talked for a little bit, and then I went to bed after that. So it was like late. It was like 8, I think. I will survive as long as I know how to love. I know I will. I've got all my life to live. So anyway, I've got all my love to give. I will survive. Hey, hey. So pretty out here. The sky is so pretty tonight. It's like just a few clouds in the sky and stars. I think tomorrow is supposed to be like in the upper 80s. It's been like 84, 86 like every day. It's been really nice. I keep on meaning to like get to the pool and I just don't. So one of these days I'd like to get to the pool and get a little bit of sun. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow. Maybe I'll get up and go to the pool for an hour and then come home and do videos. The pool will probably be packed tomorrow. Well, I didn't plan on staying up this late, and I ended up talking on the phone forever. It's 3:50 now. So anyway, yeah, I haven't been listening to The Night Stalker, and I have like so much of it left. And it kind of really scares me, honestly. Like, it's really kind of spooky. And it takes place in the summer, and he's like breaking into all these houses, and like, it really creeps me out. Like, when I was taking a nap tonight with the dogs, like, the dogs kept on like perking their heads up, and I was like, did I hear something? It kind of freaks me out. It's so weird, like, if Alex is there and he's asleep, like, I'm totally fine, like, I'm not scared at all, but like, if I'm by myself with the dogs in the house, I'm like always on high alert, you know? I don't know why. I have neighbors literally 5 feet from me on either side, if even that, but all I'd have to do is start screaming and they'd be over there in 2 seconds, you know? But I've been really missing pee-pee lately. I've been having a hard time with it. Oh, the moon's behind the clouds over there. I was thinking a lot about him tonight when I was like laying in bed with the dogs, and I just miss that little guy so much. I went off on a tangent and started telling like a real personal story, but anyway, so I was outside with the dogs, and Boo and Tucker were running around in the yard, and they're just so cute. I don't know, it reminds me of like, you know, Pee-Pee would be out there, and it was funny today because like Boo was trying to get Tucker to like run, and he would like look at him, you know, and they would like dart through the yard and zigzag and stuff. Pee-Pee used to do that, and I don't think they remember him anymore. I don't really know the capacity of memory for dogs, obviously, but I don't think that they have any kind of recollection of him anymore. I think they did for a while. You know, Alex and I, we would say something, we would say Pee-Pee, and Tucker would look up, or Boo would look up. Tucker usually, like, whenever we would say Pee-Pee, he would look at the end of the bed, like, is he jumping up? And, now, if I, like, say his name, or, if, you know, like, Alex and I are talking about Pee-Pee, or, like, I miss Pee-Pee or whatever, like, they just kind of, like, they don't, like, nothing, there's no reaction. Which makes sense, you know, but it's sad to me that dogs don't, I mean, they don't remember, you know? I was talking to this guy at the pool that he, like, runs the pool and cleans the pool, and he's, like, spraying everything off, and he was, like, telling me what I think I talked about this last night, that I was talking to him up there, but anyway, he used to walk in the neighborhood, and he had, like, this golden retriever, or was gorgeous dog, and it was golden retriever, maybe like setter mix kind of thing. It was really like dark red dog. It was beautiful, and every day he just walked and walked and walked this dog, and they walked in the rain, they walked in the snow. It's just every day he would walk. And the dog passed away like 2 years ago. No, I think he said a year and a half ago, and I was asking him what happened. Because, like, I had asked him one time, like, you know, I saw him walking without his dog, and I should have, you know, is your dog okay? And he said, no. He's like, he passed away, and, but he didn't really say anything after that. And so, I was asking him last night, I said, like, have you thought about getting another dog? And he said, no. He was like, he was such a special dog to me. Like, he goes, I've had a lot of dogs in my life, but that dog was like a spiritual connection with me. I had like this, you know, and so he was telling me what happened, and that the dog, like his dog had cancer, and the dog got like real sick, and like one day, like he had taken him to the vet, they had done like chemo and all kinds of stuff on the dog, and like, he said something about 5 rounds of chemo, but they didn't do the 5th one because it wasn't working. So we brought him home, and like, they had taken a walk, and he didn't really want to walk that day. They went for like a short walk, and he came home, and he walked like 3 feet in, and then he just dropped to the floor. And so we got a pillow for him, and he was going to take him to the vet. And when he came back, he sat down on the floor with them, and his dog passed away. And I was telling him about like similar experience with Pee-Pee and stuff, you know, and he was like, your little dog passed away? And I said, yeah. And I said, I really miss him. And I really think you can kind of like see somebody's character by how they are with animals, you know? I really, really do. I just felt so bad for him, you know, like, I mean, Pee-Pee was my best friend, but I have Boo and Tucker and Alex, and, you know, he had his dog, and, I don't know, I just felt real bad for him sitting there, and I said, well, maybe one day you'll think about getting another dog. He's like, yeah. He was like, I don't know. He was like, I don't know that I will. He was like, I haven't, you know, he said before, he was like, you know, I'd wait a couple months and I go get another dog. He said, I haven't really felt that way yet, you know? He still walks. His big walking stick he walks with now. And, isn't it interesting how you can, it's sometimes easier to talk to people that you don't really know than it is to talk to some of the people that are closest in your life about what's going on, you know? Like Alex and Tanya, I always like, I don't have a problem talking to them about what's going on, but I think sometimes strangers is easier, you know? Even just to share some of that kind of stuff of what's going on with us emotionally. I remember when I saw the movie Lost in Translation, I loved that movie so much. With Scarlett Johansson and Bill Murray. I think it's such a fantastic and beautiful movie. And if you haven't seen it, it's like over the course of a couple days, it's like this friendship that comes about between Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. And at the very end, he like whispers something to her. Like, you can look it up, the video on YouTube, and see what he whispers to her. People have like slowed it down and like taken the sound out of the background. You can like, I can't remember what he says to her, but it's something like, you'll be all right, or something like that. But you know, I thought about that so many times in my life, how there are people that we meet that we become so close to for a few days, or, you know, just even standing somewhere talking to somebody that like really affect us, or, you know, that they, you know, that we have this moment in time with them, and then we like really never see them again. I remember like when Alex and I were in the Dominican Republic, and he really, really wanted to do this, like, this boat catamaran. It was, well, yeah, we took it was a catamaran boat ride to this island, which is supposedly where they filmed, I can't remember what movie, Pirates of the Caribbean or something, and they filmed some movie there, parts of the New Blue Lagoon or something. And it was like this day cruise, and so like, you know, they would have like drinks on the way there, and then they took us out into the middle of the ocean, this really shallow area, and we could swim. And then we went to this island, and we had like this really like fancy local lunch, which was like all this seafood and stuff that I don't eat and I don't drink. So, and it was really expensive to do this thing. It was like $200 or $250 a person or something like that. And so there was these 3 other couples with us. I think I talked about, I'm sure if you've watched this vlog for a while, you'll know what I'm talking about. There were these 3 other couples that were from New Orleans, and like, they had been friends since high school, these 3 girls, and they were like probably 40, and like one was a teacher. They all did like different things, but their husbands were there too. And so it was like, we had all taken this like van to this place like in the middle of like nowhere in this town that like we took the boat from. And so we became, like, we talked to them like in the van on the way there, but it was just like, hey, how are you? Like, I'm Alex, I'm Peter, you know, things like, or I'm Peter, I'm Alex, you know, like, this is Alex, whatever we said. And but we got on the boat, and it literally downpoured the entire way there. And while it was like poured and poured rain the whole time. So we're on this boat, right? That they had like called like this day cruise. And, like, the pictures in the brochure were not what the pictures were, and it was like supposed to be this VIP experience. I remember Alex like specifically wanted to do this one because it was like the VIP experience, because I kept on joking all day, like the joke was like, this is such a VIP experience. And they because like the drinks were like, so they gave everybody like these little, like, you know, like the red like plastic tumblers, but they were like the really small ones. And so they would just come around. You didn't even have your choice of what you wanted to drink. It was like they had a 2-liter of Coke, and then like, so like for people that were like, you know, drinking Coke, they would just give you that. And if you were drinking alcohol, it was like this rum that they were like pouring into these. So everybody was drinking rum, and like some people were drinking, you know, but there was like no ice or anything. And there were like bags of chips that they were passing around on the deck. They were passing these chips around, these bags of chips. This was the VIP experience, right? So we got laughing so hard about this, but we were just like totally ragging on it the whole time. Like, it was so funny, you know, like this VIP experience. And God, we just had such a blast with these people. And so anyway, we got to the part where like we got to know them, but like not really well. And there was like, you know, it wasn't just them, it was like 30 people on this whole trip. And but it was kind of like all of us. We had like taken over the front part of the catamaran where like the netting is and stuff, you know, like that's like over the ocean. So we were all like sitting up there laughing and talking and stuff, and just like making fun of everything possible that we could about this trip. And because it's pouring down rain. I mean, we're soaked from the rain. It's like, you know, it's not cold, but it's like soaking. We're just soaked, and you know, there's like, we're like this, and the waves and stuff. So then they take us out to this place in the middle of the ocean. It was absolutely beautiful, crystal clear, and it was like 3 feet deep, like from like a mile or 2. And so we all got out and swam. It was like, that was like my favorite thing. And then we like took the boat. We got to the island, and then they took the boat up as far as they could, and we got out. And of course it's like pouring down rain. This beach is gorgeous. I mean, it was absolutely gorgeous beach, but it was like you couldn't really enjoy it because it was like, you know, raining so hard and stuff like that. And so we're like laughing about that. And then there was like these built over things that were like, you know, they had no windows or anything. They were just like, kind of like, you know, when you go to like a state park and they have like those areas where you have, what do you call it? Like they have picnic tables, and you have like, you know what I mean? Like you have like lunch and stuff in there. Like, we used to do those for like team meetings. We would go to those places like in the park, and we would do like team gatherings and stuff. Then we would eat, and everybody bring potato salad and Jello salad, and, you know, Subway sandwiches and whatever. It was kind of like that. And but one of them was outfitted with like really nice tables, like wooden tables that had like, this was like the VIP experience part. VIP tables that had like tablecloths and stuff. And then the other one was just, that was like next to it was completely empty. It just was like wood floor. And they were all like, I was the only one that wasn't really drinking, and they were all drinking, and they had taken like one of the bottles of rum off of the boat, and it was pouring. I mean, the whole time we were there, it was pouring down rain. And so they started playing, like, they loved Zydeco music, and so they started playing this Zydeco music, and they were teaching Alex dances, like how to do these Zydeco dances, and so like they were playing this music on this guy's iPhone, and he had brought like this speaker with him, and So they were all doing these dances and drinking out of this bottle. It was a really fun day. And on the way back, of course, it's still, you know, pouring down rain, and the whole way we're soaked going back. And it like started like clearing up like probably an hour, because it was like a 2-3 hour ride to get there. It was like started clearing up like 2 hours before we, or like an hour before we got back. And so we agreed that we were all gonna like meet like after dinner, because you know you go to different places for dinner at these resorts. We stayed at like the Secrets, I can't remember, Secrets Cap Cana is where we stayed. And so it's actually a really beautiful resort. The beach, I think, was that where we stayed where the beach stank so bad? I think it was. And so we agreed that we were gonna meet, like they had dancing and stuff after dinner. Well, it was like all of our last night. I think it was our last night or their last night, I can't remember. I think it was their last night, that we were gonna all meet for drinks and stuff after dinner. And it was so nice. Like we got so close that day, like all of us, like, I mean, we shared our lives and told our life stories and everything, you know, that was going on, and where we were from, and what we, you know, what we had studied and where we were. I mean, we shared everything with each other, you know, that day. It was really fun to get to know them. And I mean, it made Alex and I really realize, like, we had been close with Melissa and Jason, but that was like before we started traveling with them, and that was when we really realized that we wanted a couple to travel with and do stuff with. Because it's really fun to travel with another couple if you're a couple, you know? It's nice to travel alone, but it's fun to have another couple to do stuff with too. Even if you don't do everything throughout the day together, you get to do other things too, you know? So, yeah, so we got back, and then we all went to dinner that night, different places, and then we were all like, you know, we had gotten like really sunburned from the, that was the trip that I got stung in the eye. I'll tell that in a second. But stung in the eye by the bee. But we got burnt because of the clouds that day somehow. So we all went to, there was like this coffee shop and this bar. It was a really nice bar, actually. This really nice coffee shop too. And so I got like a special coffee, and we all sat on these like big lounge chairs they had, and they had like a band playing out there, and we sat there and talked and stuff. And then we went and danced. They had like a little disco in there, and we danced and stuff. And then we all kind of like we all like friended each other on Facebook and stuff. But then after that, like we all kind of like went back to our rooms, and yeah. I don't know why stuff like that always makes me real sad. You know, it's like, I guess it's because I wish I had more people in my life. Sometimes, you know, to do stuff with. When we were in Cancun over New Year's, it was such a weird time because we weren't just like in a very social mood. And but we did meet a couples that we like talked to on the beach and stuff. And that was such a good trip for Alex and I, just to connect, just the two of us. Like, Mexico's kind of a weird place, because you would think it would be like homophobic, but it's not at all. Like, not where we were, at least. You know, Playa del Carmen. And we love that resort, Unico. And, you know, we would walk on the beach. We would take our stuff to the beach every day. And, like, they had like guys sitting out there so you could leave your phone and stuff on the beach, and it was totally fine. And then we would like walk down. The water was absolutely crystal clear. It was a beautiful time to be in Cancun. I don't think I've ever been to Cancun when it's been that pretty. Like, it was unbelievably gorgeous at that time. And we would walk way down. There was another resort. If you were looking at our resort, it was to the right. I can't remember what it was called. It was like maybe like the El Dorado or something. But it was probably like 2 miles, and we would walk down. We would hold hands, like, and Alex and I are not big, like, hand holders and stuff, and we would walk down and talk about pee-pee and just, you know, like, share memories of him and stuff, and then we would go for a swim out in the water because it was so crystal clear and warm, and it was a really good time for us to just connect to each other. And we didn't really stay late and do stuff like on this trip. Like other trips, like we would go afterwards and go to the bar, and Alex would have a couple glasses of wine, you know, and I would sit there and have like a coffee, and you know, sometimes we'd sit out there, and we just didn't do that a lot this trip. We I don't want my stuff to fall. We would go eat dinner, and then we would sit out there for maybe like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, and then we would go back to the room, and I can't remember what show he was watching at the time. I think You, and I watched the 3rd season of True Crime, or True Detective, and I was watching so many videos at that time. This really, you know, we talk about YouTube, but like this really, really helped me. I had several friends at the time, you know, that like Melissa was so helpful to me through that whole thing. Tanya was so helpful. I talked to them every day, you know. A couple other friends of mine, you know, and one of my friends, just absolute dear friend of mine. I talk to her like literally like every day, and she's such an animal lover, and she really helped me through everything. And but I was watching these videos on YouTube, and they were like, I know this is going to sound crazy to some people, but they were like, what happens to animals when they cross over? And it was like all of these like psychic medium videos, and I know that like that probably there's not maybe any truth to it, or I don't know, but I watched them, and they really helped me. And I think that was like the first time that I really realized, you know, when people say to me things like, your videos really helped me get through this, or helped me get through that. Like, it was like, that's been kind of like a weird comment to me to get. Like, I understand, like, watching somebody and distracting you away from something can help. But, like, when people will say specific things that you have said have helped me in videos, like, I'm just like, really? Like, you know, like, it's not that I don't appreciate it. I think that's very flattering that people would say that. But that was the first time that I really was like, hearing people talk about their dogs passing or pets passing, and hearing their personal experiences, and then watching these, you know, these mediums and stuff. And, you know, like one thing that like I heard in a video, this was so helpful to me with pee-pee, in talking about, I don't even know if this was like a medium. This might have just been a vet. And a vet was saying that, like, you know, like animals, to our knowledge, are not aware of like time. Like, they're not going to sit there and process like, well, it's the end of my life, I wish I could be here for 3 more years, I'm going to miss you, you know, whatever. All they know is, I'm in pain and I don't want to be in pain anymore. And that really, like, I don't know, it made me, like, because, you know, I feel like I have such an emotional attachment to, like, memories and, you know, all this kind of stuff. And to see it from that point of view, you know, like, I have this weird image in my head. I had this dream or something around that time, and it was like this house that my mom lives in now, because I very much do believe in an afterlife, a very visual afterlife. And I had this dream or something of my mom, and it's like this house that she lives in, and it's like out in the middle of nowhere, and there's like a little bit of like a pond, lake, but you can't really see the other side, outside of her house. And then there's like a grassy area, and there's like this little woods, not like a big woods, but like a little woods that you kind of can't see the end of it. And then to the other side of the house, there's like this clearing, and it has like this little dirt gravel sidewalk kind of road that goes into somewhere you can't see. And I had this just feeling, I was just like, such a feeling in my heart that this is where my mom lived, and this place didn't have, it was like all white, it was like this white clapboard house, and there were like no doors, and like the windows had like no glass or screens on them, anything, and it just was like this big white bed, like you walked in, and it was like this this area was like this big white bed, and it was like these lamps on either side that just kind of illuminated the room, but they weren't really lamps like you would turn on or turn on. They were just like, were like orbs of light. And I just would imagine my mom like sitting there reading in bed, and like Pee-Pee was always on the other side at the end of the bed, and then like, you know, in the morning he would like wake up, and it was like before it was even like light outside, the moon was still like shining, and he would like jump off the bed and run outside, and he would like, you know, smell the grass and go over to the lake and look around, and then he would come back, and you know, he would get back into bed and sleep on the bed with my mom. I've had this image like many times. I've had dreams about this place, and it's weird because I really do believe that's like where my mom lives, and I feel like Pee-Pee's with her. And even if that's not the case, it gives me some, I don't know, it gives me some sense of like calm or hope, I think, you know what I mean? Like, where am I at on time? So yeah. I miss his little ears perking up when I would come into the room. He'd just sit up and look at me, you know. Little guy. His little tail. He'd let me wrap him up in a little blanket. He would just lay there. He loved it. And Alex would laugh because I would call him Senorita Burrita, and he would say, he's a senor, and I would say, he's my little Senorita Burrita, and he would say, he's a senor. And he would just look at it, he would look back at Alex and look at me. Dogs bring us so much joy, don't they? Pets, cats, whatever you have. You know, I joke in my videos about, like, cats are aliens and I don't like cats and whatever. Like, I have no issues with cats. I'm allergic to cats. Alex is, like, deathly allergic to cats. And, like, so bad that Alex's mom has a cat and he has to take a Benadryl every time he goes over there because it's so bad. But, like, I've had friends of mine that have had, like, really great relationships with their cats. Melissa, she just got a new cat. You know, Melissa loves Halloween. And she just got a new cat, and she named it, like, you know, Michael Myers from Halloween, the movie. She named it Michael Meowers. He's so cute. She's constantly posting videos on Facebook of him. She's bought, like, all these, like, little, like, houses for him to play in and all this kind of stuff. She's hilarious. You know, I thought that I would be, like, at some point, like, Alex and I had talked about it when we were in Cancun, like, down the road, getting another dog. He's not really in that space right now. Like, he doesn't really want it. He's, like, choose enough, you know, and I feel the same way. I do think Tucker gets lonely sometimes because, like, today Boo was playing with him, but, like, Boo really just likes to sleep a lot. And I think Tucker gets bored. Tucker just walks around constantly. Like, when I'm making videos, he's literally like a foot away from me the whole time. And he's up real late. Like, when I come home, he'll come barking down the stairs. And so I think he's lonely, you know, but, like, That sound always makes me think of To Kill a Mockingbird because they had that sound in the movie. But anyway, of that bird. You know, I kind of thought that I would be like I would rush to want to get another dog. But I don't feel that. I just don't. I'm not in any hurry. I know I always want to have a dog. I think like our choice to just like really focus on Boo and Tucker and be the best dog dads that we can possibly be to them, it's like such a right decision right now, you know, and they get so much attention from both of us, and like their barking has really gotten bad, and like when Alex, like they're like when they hear the garage door, they're like frantic, and I really think they had separation anxiety when Alex went back to work after being home for 3 months, because he was like, I mean, we were there together every single day. It was like the four of us, you know, and I think they really suffered some kind of separation anxiety when they went back. I really, really do. I don't think that they're like still used to him not being gone, because like they like, when he leaves in the morning, he like comes over and he kisses me, and then he like goes over and he'll like talk to Tucker, and he'll say like, you be a good boy today, Tucker, and he kisses Tucker, and he does the same thing with Boo Radley and sits there for a second with each dog, and they just kind of like look at him, and then like when he leaves, they'll go back to sleep with me, but it stops, and I was still talking. But I was saying that I don't think dogs really understand time, that people say that, or I don't think that. I don't think dogs understand like years on end, but I think like, I don't think they understand like 3 years ago, right? But I think they think like Dad's been gone a long time. Yes, I think they are conscious of that. You know, like when I pick them up at the kennel, like the look on their face, they're like, oh my God, there he is, you know, like, and Boo and Tucker are always like, PP was always like that, you know, like, so excited, you know, and, I think they really do get it, you know, and they're so sweet, just very innocent, and, I don't know. I love my dogs. I love dogs just in general. I used to think, like, I would say, like, I'd have, like, 6 dogs if I could, right? But I don't know that I necessarily feel that way anymore. Like, I like being able to have, you know, give the attention to each dog that they deserve. And weirdly enough, like, 3 was such a perfect number because they were just such a little family, the 3 of them, you know, Boo and Tucker and PP, they were just such a little family, and, you know, they did everything together, like, you know, like, the order of how they walked out of a door, the order that they came back in, it was always PP, Tucker, and Boo. That was the order, always, you know, and they were a little wolf pack of their own, you know, and, oh, the battery is dying, I need to pull in here, hold on. I'm going to get off here in a second anyway. But they were always just, you know, like a little family of their own. And it worked very, very well. It's no harder having, for us, it was no harder having 3 dogs than 2 dogs. And I miss having 3 dogs sometimes. But not enough to bring, like, a puppy in the mix. Like, I just feel like that's a lot right now. I don't know. Alex definitely doesn't want another dog right now. And I'm not really in a place like that I, you know, feel that strongly about it. Maybe one of these days. I will say this. I don't want Boo or Tucker to be alone. So when that time comes, that will be, hopefully that's down the road. I was talking to somebody today and their dog, I was talking to my mom's friend. She was walking her dog. I was like, how old is she? And she said 16. I was like, oh, fingers crossed, you know. And she's like, little dogs live to be a really long time sometime. And I was thinking about that. Well, PP was almost 14, you know. But I don't know. Like, I don't want Boo and Tucker to be alone. So if one of them was gone, then I would definitely think about getting another dog. But then I think I would be so sad. I don't know that the last thing I would be thinking about is wanting to get another dog in that moment. You know what I mean? All right, I'm going to change the battery. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. I really have to go to the restroom. So I'm gonna start finishing this vlog and drive towards the gas station. I kind of like to listen to a little bit of my audiobook tonight too, which is the fastest way to get out of here. I think I'm gonna go this way. So yeah. All right, you guys. McNamara Florist is having 50% off plant sales. Their plants are beautiful. I should go there and see what plants they have. Oh, they have them all outside. They have a bunch of, oh, they're all ton of outside. I should go there and see how much they are. All right, you guys, listen. I am going to end the vlog. So, if you made it this far in the vlog and you liked, then thank you for watching. I appreciate it. And if you liked this vlog tonight, please give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Playing video games back in the day. And leave a comment if you want to. And if you liked it, and subscribe. And please make sure that you're still subscribed to this channel and all of my channels if you so wish. And also, please leave a blue heart in the comment section below for all of us over here, the Wolf Pack, just trying to get through life and make it one day at a time and put positivity and kindness out there in the world. And this gas station is impossible to get to, which is so weird to me. But anyway, so yeah. And I hope you guys, I hope you guys are having an amazing Saturday, unless you have other plans. But like I always say, do not have other plans. Make the most of your day. Do something fun today. Do something exciting. You're exchanging a day of your life for it. Make today last. Make it mean something today. Do something fun and exciting, or fun and do something exciting. Do something fun, do something exciting. Start a new book, start a new movie, or watch a movie, or start a new TV show or something. I don't know. Go get some flowers and put them in your yard. Get just one plant. Put it inside your kitchen if you want. It'll make you happy. And give you something to take care of. And do something that will make yourself proud when you look back on it tomorrow, or the next day, or next week, or next month, or next year, or 10 years, or 20 years, or 50 years, or 60 years, or 69 years. Family friendly, or 80 years, or 100 years. Anything. Put some positivity and kindness, compassion, and love out there in the world. And make one choice today that will make you happy about yourself when you look back on it. And if nobody else has told you this today, I love you. Make sure that you look at yourself in the mirror every single day and you say, I love you. And one positive affirmation like, you are valuable. And I just looked to see, I was like, is it even recording? And every day when you get up, look in the mirror and say, I love you. And also say one positive affirmation about yourself to get the day started, like, I love you. And also say to yourself, every night before you go to bed, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. So that was for the morning. Get it? Okay. And every night before you go to bed, look at yourself in the mirror, or just say it out loud and say, tomorrow is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day tomorrow. I'm going to laugh, I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, I'm going to make the most of my day. It's just going to be an amazing day. And I'm going to have, great opportunities come my way and positive experiences throughout the day. And if my day gets off track, I can start my day over whenever I want. I'm just going to the other room and say I'm going to start my day over. And when you get up tomorrow, after you've told yourself you love yourself, and one positive affirmation, say, today is going to be an amazing day. I'm going to be happy, joyous, and free all day today. And I'm going to sing, I'm going to dance, and have some of my favorite foods. I'm just going to make the most out of today and put positivity and love and kindness out there in the world. I'm going to have great opportunities come my way. I'm going to have positive experiences all day long. And if my day gets off track, well, I can start my day over whenever I want. I can just go in the other room and say, start my day over, because I don't want to continue to feel negative this way, Start your day over whenever you want. And let's see, if what's the next thing? I always forget. Oh, most importantly, make sure that you reach out to somebody and let them know how much they mean to you. Say to them, call them up, text them, and say, hey, I just want to let you know how much you mean to me. I was thinking of you today. Hope you're doing okay. It can be anybody. It could be a friend you haven't talked to in a while. Everybody should reach out to an old friend that they haven't talked to in a while and just say, hey, I was thinking of you. You doing okay? And, yeah. And let's see what else. Just one person, that's all it takes. Just one look. You guys remember that song? And Creaky Halloween door. I haven't done that on here in forever. My mom used to do that. Creaky Halloween door. No, I can't do it. I can't do it on command. What else? Also, practice random acts of kindness, but like I always say, don't tell anyone. Just do it because it's the right thing to do. Do it because it's a nice thing to do. Do it because it's nice and good to put goodness and kindness out there into the world. Do it because you're a loving, kind, and caring person. And, yeah. I think that's it. Anything else? I can't think. No. Just always come from a place of love. A point of love. Easier said than done sometimes, but ask yourself, am I coming from a place of love? And I love you guys. And I'm coming from a place of love. But I do. I love you guys. And have an amazing Saturday. I love you, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Love ya!